Okay, good morning children. In yesterday class, already we started the second chapter, that is biological classification. Okay, in today class, we are going to continue the second chapter. So in yesterday class, we discussed about the five kingdom classification, which was proposed by the Robert H. Whittaker. According to Robert H. Whittaker, but what are the five kingdoms? Five kingdoms are especially Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. So these are the five kingdoms according to the R.H. Whittaker, and we have to discuss about each and every kingdom. So what about Monera kingdom? What are included in Monera kingdom? And what about Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia? So we have to, in this chapter, we are going to discuss about all these five kingdoms. So what type of the organisms are present in these five kingdoms? Okay, everything we are going to discuss in this chapter about these five kingdoms. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the Monera kingdom. Okay, in today's class, we are going to discuss about the Monera kingdom. So this Monera kingdom includes four groups, Nani. This Monera kingdom includes four groups. Okay, four groups. Here, the first one is Archaebacteria. This Monera kingdom included four groups. First one is Archaebacteria. Second one is Eubacteria. Third one is Mycoplasma. And last fourth one is Actinomycetes. So these are the four groups included in this Monera kingdom. One is the Archaebacteria, second one Eubacteria, third one Mycoplasma, fourth one Actinomycetes. So now we have to discuss about the Archaebacteria. So first we are going to discuss about the Archaebacteria. So Archaebacteria. Okay, Archaebacteria. Now we are going to discuss about the Archaebacteria. So these Archaebacteria, these are the special type of monerans. Why? Because these Archaebacteria are able to survive in extreme habitats. For example, if you see these Archaebacteria that can survive in extreme salty areas. They can survive extreme salty areas, high salt conditions also they can survive. So that's why these are called halophiles. These are called halophiles. Why? Because these can survive in extreme salt areas. That's why these are called halophiles. And also they can survive in hot springs also. Hot springs means hot water bodies. They can survive in hot springs. So these are called thermoacidophiles. The Archaebacteria which can survive in hot springs, they are called thermoacidophiles. thermohydrophiles. And also this can survive in marshy areas, means waterlogging areas. They can survive in marshy areas also. Marshy areas also means waterlogging areas. They can grow in waterlogging areas also. That's why these are called methanogens. Okay, methanogens. So the main differences between archaebacteria to other bacteria is especially the cell wall which is not made up of peptidoglycan. Generally the bacteria cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, but here the cell wall didn't made up of peptidoglycan. Here the cell wall is made up of pseudomurin. Cell wall is made up of pseudomurin. Cell wall is made up of pseudomurin. And also here you can see the cell membrane contains branched chain of lipids. Cell membrane contains branched chain of lipids, means fats. So because of this property, this can survive in extinct conditions. Why? Because the cell membrane is included with branched chain of lipids. So because of this, they can survive in each and every habitats. And especially here you can see methanogens that can present in the gut, means digestive system. Methanogens, especially these methanogens present in the gut, means digestive system, stomach, gut of some ruminants, especially the grass-eating animals. Ruminants means grass-eating animals, cow, buffaloes. So they can produce the methane gas, means biogas. By using the dung, they can produce the biogas. So this is another importance of the methanogen bacteria. The methanogen bacteria which is present in the digestive system of ruminating animals, and that is very useful for the production of biogas. Biogas mainly contain methane. That is very useful for the production of biogas by using dung. So this is about the archaebacteria. So these are the special type of monogens. Some are halophiles, some are thermohydrophiles, some are methanogens. Cell wall is made up of pseudomurin. Cell membrane contain grouped chain of lipids. And the methanogen bacteria is very useful for production of biogas. So this is about the archaebacteria. Okay. This is about the archaebacteria. Now coming to the eubacteria. In this second one, eubacteria. Archaebacteria completed. Now second one, eubacteria. So these bacteria are present everywhere around us. Millions of bacteria are present in handful of soil. So these are the abundant microorganisms. Bacteria are. These can live in extreme habitats. Before only we discussed. Some are living in desert conditions. Some are living in hot springs. Some are living in snow areas. Some are living in deep oceans. So this can present everywhere around us. So this is about the eubacteria. So this can present everywhere around us. And based on its shape, these bacteria having some groups. based on its shape. This bacteria having 4 groups based on its shape. So here some bacteria which are spherical, some bacteria which are spherical, they are called bacillus, they are called coccus. The bacteria which are round spherical like structure, they are called coccus, and the bacteria which are rod like structure, they are called bacillus. Bacillus which are rod like structure, and the bacteria which are comma like structure, comma, they are called Vibrio. Vibrio which are comma like structure, and some bacteria which are spiral shape, spring like structure, spiral shape, that are called spirillum. Spirillum. So these are the 4 types of the bacteria based on its shape. Some are spherical shape, that are called coccus. Some are rod-like structures, some are rod-like structures that are called bacillus. Some are comma shape, that are called Vibrio. Some are spiral shape, which contain flagella here, So this is a cocci, bacil, okay, rod shape, bacilli, next Vibrio, comma shape, next spiral shape. So these are the shapes of the bacteria. So based on its shape, there are 4 types: coccus, bacillus, Vibrio, spirillum. Coccus are spherical shape, bacillus are rod-like structure, Vibrio are comma-like structure, spirillum are spiral-like structure. So this is about the structure of this bacterium. And one more thing here, these bacteria are categorized by the presence of cell wall. The cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan. This is also called murin. This is also called mucopeptide. This is also called mucopeptide. And one more thing here you can see, okay, cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Cell membrane contains some foldings. These foldings are called mesosomes. Cell membrane having some foldings. These foldings are called mesosomes. And if you see these bacteria, the genetic material is not covered with nuclear membrane. That's why these are called prokaryotic. All prokaryotic, they do not contain membrane bound nucleus. Here in this, especially bacteria, the genetic material is not covered with nuclear membrane, and remaining all cell organelles are absent except ribosomes. Ribosomes only present, remaining all cell organelles are absent. And some bacteria are able to move motile. They contain flagella, one or more flagellas. With the help of flagellas, they are able to move. Now you can see, now what is the mode of nutrition in bacteria? So some bacteria are autotrophic, means some are photosynthetic. By using sunlight, they can prepare their own food. Some are chemosynthetic. By using inorganic chemicals, they can prepare their own food. And mostly all the bacteria are heterotrophic, means they can depend on other organisms. Heterotrophic means in that some can depend on other organisms that are parasitic. Some can depend on dead bodies of the plants and animals. Some can depend on decomposing of the waste materials. These are called saprophytes. Some bacteria are only autotrophic, Maximum all bacteria are heterotrophic only. In that some are parasitic, some are saprophytic. So this is about the nutrition in bacteria. Now one more thing here you can see. This is about the nutrition in bacteria. If you see about in cyanobacteria, that is also called blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, which is called blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria, which contain chlorophyll A, which contain chlorophyll A, and it is appear like a green plant which is a photosynthetic, which can able to perform photosynthesis. This is a photosynthetic algae, cyanobacteria, blue-green algae. So here these cyanobacteria are unicellular, some are colonial, present in colonies, and some are filamentous, long thread-like structures, filamentous. So this can show oxygenic photosynthesis. The cyanobacteria are able to show oxygenic photosynthesis. This is one of the primitive character. And if you see in some of these cyanobacteria that can fix nitrogen in their special cells, the cells are called heterocyst. The cells are called heterocyst. Some of these organisms that can fix nitrogen by their special cells, the special cells are called heterocyst. The special cells are called heterocyst. Okay, best example to this nostoc. Best example to this nostoc. Nostoc and Anabina. Anabina. Nostoc and Anabina. These are example. Now you can see the structure of the cyanobacteria. Now you can see here the structure of the cyanobacteria, which is filamentous, They are having the special cells here. These special cells are called heterocyst. This is the structure of cyanobacteria. This is the structure of cyanobacteria. So this is the structure of cyanobacteria. Okay. So this is the. So here the special cells which are called heterocyst. The special cells which are called heterocyst. So this is the nostoc. Okay. So this is about the structure of the cyanobacteria. The heterocyst that can fix nitrogen in their special cells. So this is about the cyanobacteria. And one more thing here, you can see. One more thing here you can see. So these bacteria are not harmful. Some bacteria are very useful. For example, if you see the lactobacillus bacteria, which is very useful for converting the milk into curd, and some are very useful for fixing nitrogen. So these are some useful bacteria, but remaining that may cause different type of diseases in plants, animals, and human beings. For example, some of the diseases: cholera, typhoid, and tetanus. For example, if you see in the plants, citrus plants, citrus, canker. So these are some diseases caused by the bacteria. Okay. Now you can discuss about the. But what about the reproduction process? The main reproduction is fission. The main reproduction of bacteria is fission, either binary fission or multiple fission. One parent bacteria is divided into two daughter bacteria. That is the fission. And in unfavorable conditions, they can produce the spores, and also they can show sexual mode of reproduction, which is a primitive method. In the sexual reproduction, one bacteria transfer DNA into another bacteria. So these are the reproductive methods of the bacteria. So far we discussed about the eubacteria. So this is about the eubacteria. Now coming to the third one, mycoplasma. Okay, third one, mycoplasma. Third one, mycoplasma. These mycoplasmas lack cell wall. There is no cell wall. So these are called pleomorphic. These are called pleomorphic. These are called pleomorphic means these bacteria can able to change their shape. Why? Because there is no cell wall. Because of the absence of cell wall, it can change its shape. That's are called pleomorphic. Pleomorphic bacteria. So these are the smallest bacteria are known, which can live in absence of oxygen also. Smallest type of bacteria which can live in absence of oxygen also. But these mycoplasmas that can cause different type of the diseases in plants, animals and human beings also. Here they given several diseases. One of the special diseases in plants that is witch's broom. Witch's broom disease, and second one is pleuropneumonia. And mycoplasmal urethritis. Mycoplasmal urethritis. Mycoplasmal urethritis. So these are the diseases caused by the plants, especially these mycoplasmas cause diseases in plants. That is the witch's broom disease. Means abnormal growth of small branches. Witch's broom means abnormal growth of small branches. Here, pleuropneumonia means inflammation of pleura as well as lungs. Next, mycoplasmal urethritis means inflammation of urethra, which causes the inflammation of swelling of urethra. So this is the pleuropneumonia, swelling of pleura, which is the outer layer of the lungs. Inflammation of the pleura as well as the lungs. This is the witch's broom means abnormal growth of small branches. So these are the three diseases. Three diseases were caused by these mycoplasmas. So this is about the mycoplasmas, which is the third group of the Monera. Now last one, we are going to discuss about the last group of the Monera, that is Actinomycetes. This is the last group of Monera kingdom, that is Actinomycetes. This is the last group of Monera, Actinomycetes. This is the last group of Monera. So these Actinomycetes, these can form radiating colonies in culture. While culture, it can form radiating colonies, which can form radiating colonies. So which contain the cell wall, which is made up of mycolic acid. The cell wall which is made up of mycolic acid. So especially if you see some of these Actinomycetes, for example Mycobacterium. For example, if you see in Mycobacterium, this is one of the parasites, and Carnibacterium also. Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which cause leprosy disease. Next, Carnibacterium diphtheria. So, Mycobacterium, which is one of the parasites. Next, Corynebacterium. These are the parasites, and finally the most of these actinomycetes membranes that are very useful for the production of antibiotics, especially the best example Streptomyces, the genus Streptomyces. From the Streptomyces we are able to produce the antibiotic Streptomycin. Streptomyces is very useful for the production of antibiotic. So far we completed 4 groups which are present in the Monera kingdom. So far we completed 4 groups of the 4 groups which are included in the Monera kingdom. Okay, what are that? What we discussed in that? First one, Archaebacteria. About Archaebacteria we discussed. Next, Eubacteria. Next, Mycoplasma. And also we discussed about the Actinomycetes. And also we discussed about the Actinomycetes. Okay. So these are the 4 groups which are included in the Monera kingdom. About Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, Mycoplasma, and Actinomycetes. In these Archaebacteria, especially we discussed these are the some are halophiles, some are thermoacidophils, some are methanogens. The cell wall is not made up of peptidoglycan. The cell wall is made up of mucopeptide. The cell wall is made up of pseudomurine. And what is the importance of the methanogen bacteria, which is very useful for production of biogas. Next, in Eubacteria, discuss about the in these Eubacteria, especially the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. These are present everywhere around us based on its shape. Some are bacillus, some are coccus, some are vibrio, some are spirilla, and some are autotrophic. In that, some are photosynthetic, some are chemosynthetic. Some are, majority of them are heterotrophic. In that, some are parasitic, some are saprophytic. These parasites that may cause different type of diseases. For example, cholera, typhoid, tetanus. These are all the diseases we discussed about. Next, in the Mycoplasma, so far we discussed about some diseases, Witches-Bloom disease, Mycoplasma urethritis. Okay, Witches-Bloom disease, pleuropneumonia, Mycoplasma urethritis. About we discussed. Next, lastly, and one more thing here you can remember, these are Mycoplasmas are pleomorphic. It can change its shape. And last time we discussed about the Actinomycetes, which form radiating colonies in their culture. The cell wall is made up of mycolic acid, especially some parasites example already we discussed. Mycobacterium and Corynebacterium, and some of the antibiotics are prepared with these actinomycetes membranes. The genus Streptomyces. From the Streptomyces we are able to produce the antibiotic Streptomycin. Okay, so this is about the Monera kingdom. In next class we are going to discuss about the